Listen, trying to lose the baby weight while surviving off of coffee and goldfish is not gonna cut it. Trust me, I know. I've tried to do it twice. If you are new here, hi, my name is Nicole. I'm a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach and a mom. I went through 2 back-to-back C-sections myself, so I think I got some stuff to say. And I'm gonna give you some tips and tricks, some realistic things to do to lose baby weight. Things that, number one, aren't gonna sacrifice your sanity, because I'm sure you're already going insane postpartum. Spoiler alert, we all did. There's such a pressure about weight and the way we look after we literally just birthed a human. Being in those postpartum days, especially those early postpartum days, is rough. In this video, I'm going to give you some realistic tips on how to lose the baby weight, because trust me, I know you may be going a little bit insane postpartum. Spoiler alert, we all do. I've got my coffee, I've got my water. Okay, we're gonna hop right into it. My first tip is going to be meeting your body where it is. Your body just went through an enormous change, not just birth, pregnancy, and now postpartum. What I mean by this is don't think you're going to be 2 weeks postpartum ready to do circuit training in your living room. When I had my C-section, about 2 weeks or so after, maybe a week and a half after I was in Target with my husband, I was walking around the store and I was just so tasked from just walking around Target. I was out of breath. I couldn't walk anymore. My feet were still extremely swollen. My back was killing me. I was just walking around the store. What makes you think you're going to be able to jump right back into a normal workout routine again? I can vividly remember this so well. There are other things that you can do before you're jumping right into a workout regimen that will put you in a better space for when you're finally able to return to a full workout schedule. In the meantime, in those first weeks postpartum, instead of trying to jump back on the workout wagon, maybe focus on nutrition, fueling your body. If you're breastfeeding, that is so important. The last thing that your body needs when you're breastfeeding is for you to deprive it of nutrients. So if we shift our focus into working out and wanting to work out right away to focusing on nutrition, and by that I don't mean dieting, whole foods, protein, naturally occurring carbohydrates, healthy fats, you don't need to worry about dieting right away. Not only are you completely doing a disservice to your body, but when the time comes to where you're actually in a healthy place to start to lose body fat and your body is more recovered and you're more in a routine and your baby's a few months old, it's going to be so much harder for you to do it because your metabolism is going to be shot. Everyone's capacity and situation and birth experience is so different, so there's no point in trying to copy and paste what someone else is doing into your own life. I would say when you're just starting off, instead of wanting to jump back into a workout routine or feeling immense pressure to just lose the baby weight, focus on your nutrition first. Not only is this going to be the most important thing after you have a baby, but throughout the entirety of your fitness journey, focusing on nutrition first is 80% of the battle. I know some of y'all don't like to hear that. Okay, I will never turn down Chinese food myself, or wings. I'm a wings gal. Flats specifically. If you eat wings and you like drums over flats, I don't really trust you. What we're focused on when meeting your body where it's at is recovery, prioritizing nutrition over workouts, and healing your core. You're gonna need to put some time into that. My second tip is going to be focusing on micro goals. I need you to make manageable habits that are realistic for your daily routine. This could be things like steps, water intake, creating a bedtime routine, creating a morning routine. There is nothing that is predictable about those first few months after your baby is home. I'm not saying to go on social media and look at these elaborate, extravagant routines and copy that. It's probably not realistic. I will not take 30 minutes just to do my skincare at night, okay? I got 5 kids running around this house. But if there are 2 things that you can implement at the end of every night, maybe washing your face and filling your water for tomorrow morning, do that. And then slowly add on to those habits. Those small things will become routine. They will become habit and they will add up. Not underestimate the power of baby wearing. If you have a baby that does not want to be put down, that constantly wants to be on you, that contact naps, trust me, I've been there and I know. I probably have 5 different baby carriers laying around the house. Find one that works for you, strap that baby on, and do laps around your living room. Put the baby on while you're cooking. Put the baby on while you're watching your favorite show. walk back and forth. Go outside. Vitamin D will do you good. Vitamin D will do your baby good. I'm not saying to stick your baby directly in the sunlight, by the way. Let me tell you something. One of the best things that I did after having my first was making it priority to take her outside in the stroller every day just for walks. I think it contributed tremendously to the foundation that I laid when I was losing that much weight. I felt so trapped for a while inside the house. It was just like Groundhog Day, the same thing over and over. I felt gross. I have throw up on me. My boobs are always leaking. I'm changing my clothes 5 times a day, or not at all. You're staying in that baby throw up shirt from last night. I know you are. Time to get out of it, okay? Those walks just made me feel a little bit more human. When you are in the trenches of postpartum, adding things into your routine that make you feel more human is so important. I think one of the reasons I loved walking so much with my daughter is it kind of took my focus off of trying to get in movement and steps, right? And it shifted it to also being like me spending time with her. You're going to have a very long time to lose your baby weight. Your baby is only that little for so long. You do not need to tell me how hard it is to live not liking your body. When I had my daughter, I felt like a complete stranger in my body. I didn't even know what I liked anymore. I didn't know what brought me joy. My love for working out was completely like useless. I couldn't tell you anything that I enjoyed, me as myself, outside of motherhood. Setting micro habits like that are not only going to, again, move the needle a little closer to where you want to be with weight loss. You're going to show yourself that you can show up, that you can keep promises to yourself. Oh my gosh, if it is one thing I will scream to the rooftop, it is to wake up before the baby. I'm not saying like when the baby's 3 weeks old and you're trying to like just survive the night and you're only getting 4 hours of sleep. Not what I'm saying. If you're getting a fair amount of sleep throughout the night and you have the capacity to just wake up a little bit before your kids or the baby, try to wake up before them. Take some time for you. Another micro goal that's probably pretty realistic for you to set is to just focus on your protein. If you've ever counted calories or macros before, I will never ever tell you to start doing that immediately after you have a baby. If you have not counted calories or macros before, when you have a newborn at home, it's not the right time to do that. There is value in knowing portion sizes and knowing how much protein should I be eating, how much protein is 3 ounces of chicken, what does a 4-ounce burger look like. Your body is going to thrive off of the fuel that you give it. Knowing what that fuel consists of, how much of it is going to be vital when you're actually in the place to focus on dieting or losing the body fat. After I had my daughter, I knew that my body was not in a place to go straight into a diet. Number 1, I was breastfeeding. Number 2, I knew that my metabolism was probably not at the best place for my body to lose fat. The only thing that I tracked after I had my daughter was protein. That's all I was worried about. I didn't have a big appetite. Half the time I couldn't get any type of real meal in. But when things slowly started to become easier and easier, then I went into counting my calories again. I went into counting my macros again. Okay, my third tip is going to be acknowledge the season that you are in. You gotta acknowledge your reality. By acknowledging your reality, you're setting realistic expectations for yourself. At a C-section, you're gonna need more time to recover. Some days postpartum are going to literally just be you keeping the baby alive, and that's fine. Don't feed into unrealistic expectations. Don't listen to random people on social media that tell you that you can work out 3 weeks postpartum and you feel like garbage. How are they doing that? How do they look like that? It doesn't matter. It's not you. Work out at home, body weight exercise, put on something on YouTube, hire a really good coach if you have the means to do so. If all you can do is work out at home, that's better than what you did 2 weeks before, 3 weeks before, what you did last month. If the season of life that you're in only allows you to work out 2 days a week, don't set a goal of working out 5 times a week. If you want to work out at 5 a.m. because Kathy next door worked out at 5 a.m. every day and she lost the baby weight, but you also know that your baby is up at 5:30 on the dot every morning, don't plan to work out at 5 a.m. You don't need to be a morning person. You need to allocate what you have time for. Another thing, lack of sleep Postpartum is so real. Don't sacrifice it more when you're in those early days and barely getting sleep. I'm gonna tell you something. I wake up between 4 to 6 a.m. I did it after my first daughter because it was the only time I had in the morning. When I had my most recent baby, who is now 8 months old, I'm now back in that routine of waking up from 4 to 6 a.m. She's 8 months. When she was waking up 5 times a night, I was not up at 4 a.m. I was focused on my nutrition, my steps, some things that I felt like I could control. I can't control if she's waking up 5 times a night. So why am I going to put the pressure on myself to wake up even earlier? Sometimes I feel like in the fitness space, we overcomplicate what we need to do to see real progress and real results. And more times than not, it's small, minute things that make the biggest difference. But then when you're postpartum and you have a baby, there's all of this extra pressure to get your body back, and you've been sharing it for so long, and you just want to feel human again, and you want to feel hot again, and you want to feel good, and you want to have energy, and you want like to sleep normally. But like the reality is like that's just not the season that you're in. Meeting your body where it's at, focusing on micro goals, being realistic about the season of your life, all of those things encompass what it really is to lose the weight. Because within those things are movement and working out, nutrition and fueling your body properly, and setting realistic goals. Setting realistic goals allows you to be consistent. Being consistent leads to results. There's a way to do it. This season's not forever, I promise. And just chill out. Your body's done a lot for you. If you decide to stick around on my channel, I will be talking a lot about nutrition, weight loss, motherhood, workouts, fun meals, lots of food. I told you I would never say no to wings, all that fun stuff. If all that sounds good, you could subscribe. But until next time,